Okay, guys, today we're going to talk about histograms. And histograms are really just bar graphs. They're kind of specialized bar graphs, and they are bar graphs that show the frequency of data within a given interval. So it's kind of like the information that you get in a frequency table, but we just turn it into a bar graph. And something interesting here, in a histogram, the bars are going to be touching each other. That's going to be a really important part for a histogram. This is an example of a histogram. I want to point out some parts to you. The first part is that every histogram is going to have a title. Let's do this. A histogram is going to have a title. Okay, this is the histogram of visitors in every age group. And maybe we're going to say it's to a museum, which is something you could add on there. Visitors to the Country Music Hall of Fame. Okay. The intervals are these sets of numbers down here on the bottom, and I want you to recognize that they represent the same number of pieces of data. 1 to 5 is 5 numbers. 6 to 10 is 5 numbers. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 to 15 is 5 numbers. They all represent 5 numbers, so they're equal intervals. And then we're going to label this axis and label this axis. So think about it. Back when we were doing coordinate planes, we had the y-axis and the x-axis. Well, these are both still axes. We're just really dealing with the first quadrant. So we want to label each of those and say what they represent. So one is visitors and one is age group. And then we could ask questions. I could ask you questions like, how many, let's make this a little bigger. I could say, how many visitors were between 20 and, well, let's see, how many visitors, let's say over 25. And I should be able to answer that question by looking at the bar graph. The visitors over 25 would represent this bar, and this bar. Okay, so I'd have to read the bar. This bar is the number 40. Okay, and this bar, maybe that's 40. I think I might need to draw a line to see. If I draw a line from here straight across, yeah, that looks like 40. And if I draw a line from here straight across, I want to say that looks like 45. So, and you could actually use a ruler to help you out with that. Oops. Okay, and then this one looks like 20. Maybe it's 25. Let's see, from here. Yeah, I'm gonna say 25. And so then for this question, we would just have to add these together, right? 40 plus 45 is 85. 85 plus 25 is 110. So the answer here would be 110 visitors. Okay. Here's another one. I want you to notice the 3 parts that I talked about. The 3 parts being the title, students' birthdays by month, that they've labeled the axes. So this one down here is labeled months, and then this one over here is labeled number of students. And then I want you to look at the intervals down here. The intervals this time are just the months, January, February, March. But each of them represents a month, and that's why the bars are touching. The bars are touching because there's not any gap in between the months. And then we could read this. We could say, oh, there's 3 students who have birthdays in January. And it looks like there are 4 students who have birthdays in February, and so on. Okay, that's how you read a histogram. So we're going to make a histogram in this slide. I've already done the tallies for you for this one, and we're going to finish our frequency table, and it's going to help us actually. This is the number 3, and this is the number 6, and this is 8, and this is 4, and this is 2. And then we are going to set up our axes. I'm going to have, I usually like to start with the x-axis. I probably should have colored that black. And then we're going to do a y-axis like this. And you do want to use a ruler to make sure that you're getting your lines nice and straight. And the neater that you can do this, the better. And we want our intervals to go from 4 to 6. I guess we don't really need anything below 4. So I'm actually going to go here and go, this is 4 to 6. I think I need a skinnier pen. Let's try this again. Okay, we're going to say this is 4 to 6. And then this is 7 to 9. I want you to notice that they each represent 3 ages, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 13, 14, 15, and then 16, 17, 18. Okay, that is not very neat, but you get the idea. And so we're going to say these are the ages. Okay, and then on this side, we're going to say that these are the number of swimmers. Okay, and we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe that wasn't great. It's okay. Use your pencil and you'll be good. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is kind of hard to do with my pen. Okay, and then we're going to make our bars. And I think what we're going to do is just make the bars first. I wonder how I change the outline color. Let's see. If I make a bar that goes, this one's going to go up to 3. And then this one's going to go up to 6. And then this one's going to go up to 8. And then this one's going to go to 4. And then this one is only 2. Oh, I need to fix that last one. This one goes to 4. And then this one goes to 2. And then I would go back in and I would color these for sure. So maybe we want this one to be an orange group, and we want this one to be green, and we want this one to be pink, and we're going to have a blue, and we're going to have a purple. Okay. One last thing is I want to make sure that I put the title in here. So I might even move this over, and I might just shrink this down so it all fits. See if I can shrink it down. There we go. I can put that as my title. And so I have finished my my histogram.